What's up everybody? Welcome to the first week of our weekly vlog, Ngāhere Weekly. Roll the intro. Ngāhere Communities is all about the people. In 2018 a group of us got together and we launched Te Hao Manukau, a space for the creators, innovators and entrepreneurs of Manukau and Aotearoa. Me, Mal, Andy, Becky, Barry, Kippy and the rest of the crew are on a mission to put our creativity on the map.
Just a few. Should we acknowledge how we met?
Yeah, sure.
Prince Harry.
This is our journey. What's up everyone? So, I'm right here in Taihape. If you don't know where that is, it's here, middle of Aotearoa. So I'm just on the road on my way back to Tamaki Makaurau. I've been down in Palmerston North having a good catch up with some of my oldest friends. I'm going to bring you guys on a road trip with me today as we recap what we went through at our Team Wananga Awhitu last weekend. One of the cool things we talked about is the things we've been learning about HR and how you can like support people that are entrepreneurial to still work in your business just like they would if they were entrepreneurs anyway. How do we set up hiring processes and support our staff to be that while they work for us while also on their own hustle? It's moving away from being like constructing a role around the amount of time that you're visible in a space, which is a really old school way of doing it, and to here's some money to pay you to do some stuff, but how you turn that into a contract and an agreement and how you measure it and make it visible, that's been the hard part.
Like if it was a pitch, like the idea would be, one, I get rewarded, let's say, for pulling off like a big piece of work in a maybe shorter than expected timeline. But then also when it's like crunch time, like the business gets rewarded because I'm reliant on that outcome to get a future, like, you know. And for me it was like time was more valuable than a potential commission because of Andy Makes. So that's where my, like in my brain, that's actually where there is the money, but that's because of the potential of Andy Makes.
Like from an employer's perspective, it's I've always been keen on how to, as Ngāhere, how do we support people to be the people we talk about, to be entrepreneurial, to be innovative, and having people stuck to a 9 to 5 when it's not necessarily like it makes sense for Bex's role because it goes with opening hours and running the business, but when it's not there and someone's trying to build something else in their life and it's not their only form of income, we don't need to be constrained by things like hours. So now with this new pulling on a new concept, I'm doing the same thing, like right from the outset. Now my conversation is not about how many hours you put in, but this is how much, this is our budget, this is how much we're willing to pay you, and these are the things, this is the bottom line of what we need you to do for that amount of pay, and it could take you 2 hours or it could take you like 30. Obviously still like,
We might go down to the beach
you
later.
use a couple of things to help set those targets. Well, I got off the road because it was kind of freaking me out. This is Aotearoa National Park. If it wasn't so cloudy, you would actually be able to see Mount Ruapehu right here. So our Awhitu weekend was pretty cool. We talked quite a bit about the Tukua program and how awesome we think that's going. Our Tukua program is a program that we developed to, number one, to help like help us support entrepreneurs, especially like Māori and Pacific entrepreneurs, but just our South Auckland entrepreneurs to build their business and to build their business in a way that makes sense to us. Like, so it's not about just going to heaps of workshops and doing all these programs and stuff. It's actually about having a whānau of entrepreneurs together and with a commitment to help each other build our businesses.
Just the opportunity that Tukura provides, like that's something that in life brings me great joy, is connecting people with other people. And that's what Tukura is massive aim for, is making those connections with businesses. And I just think that it's an impact, impacting.
Yeah, we were also talking about how awesome this new how awesome this new studio concept is that we're doing right now. Like in the past while we've opened the Game 10 Gaming Studio, we've opened the Mustard Seed Creator Studio, we're working on this concept around a pop-up studio, and hopefully we'll get to the point of having a Kai studio as well.
I love how we responded to the lack of income with the studios. That's such a cool thing, and I think there's so much potential there.
And then definitely the creative studio, like the content that can come out of there. Every time I give a tour and I take people through there, and the faces that lit up when they see the podcast set up, when they see it, like everyone.
And then revenue share with studios, beyond just a rent. Like, that's an idea, I'm not sure how it will work, but like with Mustard Seed, even though that maybe from Ngāhere perspective, maybe there's Ngāhere Enterprise, it's like an idea, where like there's the community side, how we manage tenants and how we manage the building, but there's also the like time, IP, like effort that gets put into a business, similar to like an ice house maybe.
Been trying studios out and seeing how quickly it's making sense.
I think
so, as a program, but also as a way that we use the space. Just that idea of a studio as opposed to an office or a meeting room. Kei konei ahau ki te tauponui Aotearoa. I'm right here at Lake Taupo. So after Team Wananga, some of the other cool things was just spending time together. Everyone that came had to shop for and cook a meal for the rest of the crew, which was awesome. What are you doing? Ready? Inside them?
Pesto,
Yeah.
sun-dried tomatoes, feta, and fresh basil.
Whipped cream. Yummy. Thanks, Vicky.
You're welcome, guys.
And then also Mel brought along her two youngest babies, Malachi and Micaiah, and they were up in the mix, keeping us entertained. And we also went and hung out, spent time just hanging out down at the beach. Becky was getting really sick while we were there, so she was coughing into all of our all of the stuff that we were doing. We talk about okay, 5 Facebook live videos with the mystery mask. Just a quick stop in Tukuroa, the hometown of our bro, McLaren Harris.
McLaren Harris.
McLaren Harris.
McLaren Harris.
McLaren Harris.
Hi, I'm McLaren Harris.
Who is one of the awesome tenants at Te Hao Manukau. He's the founder and CEO of Tūmeki Enterprises and always inspires us as a 20-year-old entrepreneur with all the things that he's up to. What's up, bro? Your hometown. Alright, so I'm not far from home now, not far from Manukau, probably another hour and a half. But this is the beautiful Waikato River. There's a whakataiki in Waikato that says he piko he taniwha, he piko he taniwha, Waikato tani wharau, which means at every turn a chief, at every turn a leader, Waikato of 100 leaders. There was like a couple other things that we spoke about at Alpha 2. We talked about, we looked at 2 different options for our business moving forward that we wanted to focus on. One of them, we focused on how we strengthen the pathways that we are creating, the pathways for entrepreneurs, for innovators, for creators, for rangatahi, for young people, and the way that we use the space and the way that we use our program. So we looked at that and we called that one the Empire.
It's an on-ramp for new businesses to get support to grow, and this is us. These guys, like the connectors, when they get to the stage where they've created their own empire and they're sustainable, then just through relationship and that, it's them giving back into feeding back into what's cool.
And then the other one we looked at is something we're learning heaps about, and that essentially is the products that we are developing as a business, and most of them are based around IP, intellectual property. It's things to do with, this is still a hard one to explain, but we're making really solid networks, making good connections. We're learning a lot about what's going on in South Auckland when it comes to those 3 things: creators, innovators and entrepreneurs with a future focus. And we're finding that a lot of people are wanting to come to us and are wanting to access the information, the ideas, the networks that we have. They want to be seen to be using our space in South Auckland. They want to be associated with the brand that is Ngahere Communities, and they want access to our team, our brains, our creative genius. And so all of that we're looking at what that might look like from a business perspective, because at the moment we're averaging, not even averaging, we're hitting about a solid 2 inquiries per week from different organisations and agencies that want access to what we have, and we don't have any way of managing it, and it's burning us all out. So that was another thing we looked at, and we called it the paywall. So this is Ngahere now with a couple of our relationships, and this is like what we called the paywall. You know what a paywall is, Becky? It's the part, like this is how I understand it, like when you go to buy something online, you click through the website until you get to a point where you have to pay. That's the paywall. So, and
then you get what you want.
Yeah, so this is like our paywall, and as you can see, you don't actually have to go through it. People are just jumping over it or getting it any way they want. So we're like, what we need to do is create a paywall, whatever we want to call it. Just an example.
Value wall.
Yeah, a value wall that they can walk through, and a clear pathway that gets them there. Do you put your stars on?
It's also the Ngahere Boulevard.
And that wall, that pathway right there is this. It's our digital content, it's our online presence. Then also like making it really clear where the paywall is, and that's the way in.
It's the window of opportunity.
What does that mean?
It's a double glazed window.
You can see it, but we can't really see any of the paywalls through.
Like, because I hate this. I hate the idea of this. Like, F off. Like, you can't get through unless you go that way. I feel like that's a little bit like there's still room to move. Anyway, so then we spent a lot of our time discussing what actually is this here. Like, what are they actually paying for? So these here are just a few little like products to be determined. So that's it for this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Give us a like, leave a comment. It'll mean so much to us if you did stuff like that to help us build our presence. But make sure you subscribe, eh? Thanks so much, and we'll see you on next week's episode. Peace out.